Okay, this is just a quick look at the latest addition to Google Maps, which is Google Street View. What I'm going to do for this quick look is go into the Street View option for the area around the university. If Street View is available, it will tell you when you go to the map. So I'm going to click on Street View, and here we have Talbot Street, which is the front of the Newton building. It's currently being refurbished. And we can walk up Talbot Street, for example. So we've got a couple of different ways of getting around. If I click on the little arrows, it allows me to travel up and along the road, for example. And I can also use this control to look around and see what's going on. Okay, so here I am. We'll go down to the main university sector shortly. If I want to carry on up this way, then I could carry on. So let's carry on, for example. So we can go up and have a quick look at let's go and look at the entrance to Rock City, for example. So here we've got Rock City. I was amused when I was looking at this earlier to see that we can see our little sign here saying warning CCTV in operation. And indeed there's all kinds of CCTV in operation. And just going back to Rock City itself, we can clearly see the front of the building, and it picks up things in really, quite some good detail. The passerby there we've got blurred out, and there we've got the Hole in the Hand pub down to Newton and various things that you can see. I'm just going to jump around to a more familiar junction for you. Okay, here I am. I'm at the corner of Chaucer Street and Goldsmith Street, and if I look around you can see the sort of familiar area of the campus there. And I can sort of look around. I can either pan around by grabbing, or I can use this little compass style thing. And if I want to move, I can either click on these arrows to move along streets and move up or down streets, whatever it happens to be, or I can grab the little figure here and I can move the little figure and move them along. If the street's highlighted in blue, it means that Google Street View is available. So I'm just going to turn around here to see what I'm looking at. So I've moved along a bit, and here we are at the familiar entrance to Chaucer Street. I'm just going to go down slightly so we can get a better look at the entrance. This was presumably taken sometime last summer when they were still doing the refurbishment on Chaucer, and here we can see some workmen all suitably blurred out along with their registration, and no doubt planning the next phase of the work for that day in the glorious Chaucer building, etc, etc. And here I've just jumped round to the other side of Chaucer building, and again you can sort of see the kind of level of detail that's available. If I want to zoom in on things, again I can click on my little zoom arrow so we can see this really quite clearly, and I can pan round, or I can move the information round. So we've got all our NTU logos and maps and thingies. It's all been picked up by the passing Street View service, and again some blurred people. And then if I go back onto the road, I think sometimes I find I need to pull out slightly and then it rejigs the move along. Oh no, it's jumped out of that again. Just this occasion I seem to lose the data that lets me move along, but if I lose my little man along, then the overlay seems to come back quite happily. And here again we're at the sort of Costa Coffee area. It tells us where we're looking. It should all be very familiar to people on the course. Although I'll point this building out, maybe of interest to some of you. This is the Boots Library. Okay, I'm just kidding. I know actually you're all very good, but again, gives you some kind of idea of the level of detail that's available as we go in and we look at this information. And just a few seconds here, I've jumped around to the other side of the Boots building, and here's the Union building, the Byron building that you can see. And it's interesting here that we've got a pedestrian who's about to cross the zebra crossing, and if I zoom down this way, and there's nobody there, and if I zoom down this way, because this is really a whole slew of such kind of, sort of little time slices that we've got, oh, she's not there at the crossing anymore, and that of course is because she's now crossed the building. There she is, and there's some other people around there. So you'll find this as you're travelling around, sometimes people kind of jump around on the images slightly, but generally from a kind of technical point of view, they've done a really good job. Now there are other issues around this, and we can look at some of these, but there are clearly, well, I think there are some clear kind of potential economic benefits to a service like Street View, and certainly Google thinks so, otherwise it wouldn't have spent so much money producing it. This is not a cheap service to produce. Anyway, that's a quick look at Google Street View.